Once upon a time, in the vibrant village of Udun, nestled in the heart of Umi land, lived a girl named Ayanna. Her mother, Ugu, had always longed for a son, knowing that only a male heir could inherit her husband's considerable wealth. The village customs dictated that property and riches were to be passed down through a male lineage. Despite her initial disappointment, Ugu loved Ayanna dearly, but never abandoned her dream of having a son. Years passed, and Ugu's yearning for a son grew stronger. Her prayers seemed to be answered when she became pregnant again. Joy filled her heart as she anticipated the birth of a child who she hoped would be a son, a child who would secure her family's future. However, tragedy struck when her child, indeed a son, was stillborn. Ugu was devastated. She had waited 5 long years after Ayanna's birth for this moment, only to have her hopes shattered. Heartbroken and desperate, Ugu decided to seek out a renowned witch doctor known for his dark arts. The witch doctor offered Ugu a glimmer of hope, telling her that he could bring her son back to life, but the price was steep. She would have to serve a powerful serpent queen. Desperate and willing to do anything, Ugu agreed. The serpent queen demanded a significant sacrifice, something as precious as the life Ugu wished to restore. Ugu offered half of her husband's riches, but the queen laughed, demanding a life for a life. Understanding what this meant, Ugu was torn between her children, but ultimately chose to sacrifice Ayanna to bring back her son. The serpent queen accepted, and the witch doctor performed the dark ritual. Ugu was instructed to take Ayanna to the river and push her into the water. On a fateful day, under the guise of play, Ugu led her trusting daughter to the river and pushed her in. A massive serpent appeared, swallowing Ayanna whole and dragging her into the underworld. Ugu carried her son, who was now alive, back home from the witch doctor's shrine. In the serpent realm, Ayanna transformed into a half human, half serpent creature and served the serpent queen in her chamber. The rule was that the longer one stayed in the serpent world, the more they transformed into a full serpent, becoming unable to change back into a human. As a serpent, Ayanna had only one wish: to return to her human life. She never forgot her family and cried every day in the serpent world. The serpent world was a dark and mysterious place, filled with twisted trees and eerie shadows. The serpent queen ruled over this realm with an iron fist, her presence striking fear into the hearts of all who served her. Ayanna, now a half serpent, half human creature, had to navigate this treacherous world. She served the queen obediently, performing tasks and rituals that seemed endless. The more time she spent in this world, the more her human features faded, replaced by serpent scales and eyes that glowed in the dark. Ayanna often reminisced about her past life, her village, and the family she loved. Her memories of her mother, despite the betrayal, remained vivid. She remembered the laughter, the warmth of her mother's embrace, and the joy of playing by the river. These memories gave her strength and hope, even in the darkest moments of her existence in the serpent world. Years passed, and Ayanna's longing to return to a human life grew stronger. She mustered the courage to approach the serpent queen, her heart pounding in her chest. She bowed deeply, her voice trembling, as she begged, "Great queen, please grant me the chance to return to my family. I miss them dearly and wish to be human again." The queen's eyes narrowed as she regarded Ayanna with disdain. "Why should I grant you this wish, child? You belong to me now. You were sacrificed to bring back your brother. The only way you can live is by fulfilling a great task." Ayanna's heart sank. "What must I do, my queen?" The serpent queen's lips curled into a cruel smile. "You must gather 5,000 souls for me. Only then will I consider granting your freedom." Ayanna was stunned. How could she possibly gather 5,000 souls? The task seemed insurmountable, but her desire to return to her human life was stronger than her fear. She remembered her love for braiding hair and realized that she could use this skill to her advantage. In the serpent world, Ayanna practiced and perfected her hair braiding skills on the half-human, half-serpent creatures. She became exceptionally skilled, her fingers weaving intricate patterns with ease. After perfecting her skills, she decided to return to the human world to gather the souls required for her freedom. Disguised as a human, Ayanna returned to her home village of Udun. She set up a small hair braiding stall in the marketplace and quickly became the most sought after hair braider in the village. Her talent was unmatched and she charged very little money, making her services accessible to everyone. Unbeknownst to her clients, Ayanna had a sinister plan. Each time she braided someone's hair, she would cut a small piece of it and tie it up, taking it back to the Serpent Queen. The queen would then use these hair pieces to capture the souls of Ayanna's clients, causing them to become unfortunate, losing money carelessly and properties, which were then taken by the Serpent Queen spiritually. One of Ayanna's clients, U, experienced the same misfortune after getting her hair braided. U started having strange dreams at night where she chanted and bowed down to the Serpent Queen. She was in tears as her life fell apart. Even her love interest left her, and she was consumed by despair. Desperate to find a solution, sought the help of a powerful seer. The seer, an old and wise woman, listened to U's troubles and peered into the spiritual realm. She revealed that U's destiny and soul were under the control of the serpent world. The seer informed U that if she wanted to set herself free, she would need to journey to the serpent world and retrieve her soul. This daunting task frightened U, but she knew she had to try. She suspected the hair braider, Ayanna, and tried to capture her. Initially, she failed to lure Ayanna to her home. The seer then told U that snakes do not like smoke and instructed her to trap Ayanna in a place filled with smoke. U devised a plan. She led Ayanna back to her home with a promise of money for her hair braiding services. Once Ayanna was inside, U locked the door and threw in smoking woods. Ayanna, unable to escape, choked and turned back into a serpent. U put Ayanna in a cage and took her to the seer's shrine. The seer took scales from Ayanna's body and told U to put Ayanna back into the bush and cover her with leaves. When U asked why she couldn't kill Ayanna there and end all of this, the seer explained that killing Ayanna would only allow the Serpent Queen to release all the captured souls. The goal was to release the souls. The seer performed a spell using Ayanna's scales, transforming U into a serpent. She instructed U to infiltrate the serpent world, blend in, and release the captured souls. U was put back into the water and instructed to burn the serpent world and release all the souls. Although scared, U entered the serpent world, changed back into a human form, and waited for the right moment to strike. U waited until the serpents gathered to chant and worship the Serpent Queen. She locked the door from the outside and threw in burning woods. She then broke open the cage for thousands of souls. The souls floated out of the serpent world and returned to their human owners. The serpent world descended into chaos as the serpent succumbed to the smoke and choked. U watched the serpent world from the sidelines as it went into chaos. Regaining her consciousness, Ayanna rushed back to the serpent world to warn them, but it was too late. The serpents were unconscious from the smoke, and all of their souls had disappeared. The Serpent Queen was furious with Ayanna and sentenced her to life for causing such a calamity. Knowing she would die, Ayanna decided to kill the Serpent Queen to prevent anyone else from falling prey to this kind of life. Seeing what the smoke did to the serpent world, Ayanna decided to replicate it. One day, while the serpent queen was in a trance, cultivating to gain more power, Ayanna locked herself and the queen inside the queen's chamber. She wore the queen's crown, showing that she wanted to take back her power and fearlessly burn them both to death. Ayanna was happy knowing she could not let the serpent queen leave and continue to destroy lives. Upon the queen's death, the entire serpent world collapsed in flames. All the souls returned to their owners in the human world, who then regained their fortune and health. Whose love interest came back begging for a hand in marriage, not knowing what had come over him in the first place. Who reported everything to the king, and the story became a lesson for everyone to be cautious of their surroundings and wary of things that seem too good to be true. As the villagers of Udun learned about the ordeal, the story of Ayanna and the Serpent Queen became a cautionary tale passed down from generation to generation. Elders would gather the young ones around the village fire, recounting the tale with dramatic flair, emphasizing the importance of wisdom and caution. Remember, children, the elders would say, the story of Ayanna teaches us to be wary of things that seem too good to be true. Always question, always think, and never let greed or desperation cloud your judgment. The tale of Ayanna also served as a reminder of the power of redemption and the strength of the human spirit. Despite her transformation and the many years spent in the serpent world, Ayanna's love for her family and her desire to return to her human form never wavered. Her determination and courage ultimately led to the downfall of the Serpent Queen and the liberation of countless souls. In time, Ayanna's legacy lived on through the many people whose lives she had touched, both in the human world and the serpent realm. Her story became a beacon of hope, illustrating that even in the darkest of times, there is always a way to fight back, to reclaim one's destiny, and to seek justice. Who had played a pivotal role in freeing the souls, was celebrated in the village as a hero. Her bravery and quick thinking had saved not only herself but countless others. She eventually married her love interest, who, unaware of the supernatural forces at play, was deeply grateful for U's unwavering love and resilience. As the years went by, the village of Udun thrived, free from the shadow of the Serpent Queen. The story of Ayanna became an integral part of the village's cultural heritage, a tale that was told during festivals and special occasions. It reminded everyone that courage, love, and determination could overcome even the greatest of evils.